In these dark times, I brought you a reason to rejoice, my fellow gamer. We have won! The gamers won! The classic capitalism won over monopolies of a few megacorps. The year 2025 is the best year of gaming, and it is a big victory for gamers. Yes, this year was the best year of gaming in the history of gaming, and what it means for us we'll discuss in this video. Beforehand, the best year of gaming was generally considered to be 2007. In 2007 we got a lot of great games. Halo 3, probably the most beloved Halo from Microsoft and Bungie, that had both great single-player and multiplayer. Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare that many say revolutionized online shooters. The first BioShock, an iconic and beloved first-person shooter. The first Mass Effect from BioWare, one of the best fictional universes ever created and one of the best game series ever. Team Fortress 2 from Valve, an undying shooter it seems. Portal, also from Valve, probably the most iconic puzzle game ever. Super Mario Galaxy from Nintendo, even though I'm not a fan of Nintendo games, but it is considered to be one of the greatest Mario games. And a couple of less legendary but very noteworthy games. The very first Uncharted game from Naughty Dog, that laid the path to a great video game series. The original Assassin's Creed from Ubisoft, even though the first AC was a little raw, but it also laid the path for many great video games in the series and the future. The first The Witcher game from CD Projekt Red, even though not a massive hit but a game that caused the success of CDPR, the creation of The Witcher 3 and Cyberpunk 2077, and many games to come. The very first Stalker game that wasn't as big of a hit, but had a crazy good simulation of life in its semi-open world. There are even more games, but I think it is enough to emphasize the importance of 2007 in the history of gaming. It was the golden year of gaming, and at the time we were eating good. It seemed that the gaming industry had bright and shining future, and we will have endless supply of good games. We are set for life. However, it turned out to not be the case. The very same studios and publishers that provided all of those great and amazing games now produce either slop, mediocrity or drowning in greed. Well, not all of them, but majority of them. For example, CDPR still continues to deliver great games. But there's another side. I'm not gonna discuss all of them, but let's go through a couple examples. BioWare that once created, as I said, one of the best fictional universes, the Mass Effect trilogy and the first two Dragon Age games, pushing the boundaries of writing, now releasing games like already forgotten Failure Anthem, Failure Mass Effect Andromeda and Failure Dragon Age The Veilguard. By the way, I've made a video critique of Veilguard, so if you're interested you can check it out. The link is in the description and in the comment section. And leave a like and subscribe, I have a lot of interesting videos already, so check them out. Ubisoft from one of the most respected studios that released many awesome games, like the first Assassin's Creed games, Prince of Persia games, and the first Far Cry games that were loved by gamers, turned out to be a symbol of mediocrity. Things are going so bad for Ubisoft that they're looking for someone to buy them, because now Ubisoft is a financially struggling company. What a disgrace. 2K, the creators of BioShock, are now drowning in greed with their new Borderlands scandal, and releasing basically the same sports game every year. And the same thing with Nintendo. Even though a lot of Nintendo fans still love Nintendo games, Nintendo became a symbol of greed in the gaming industry. I can go on, but I think you got the idea. The heroes of the past became the villains of today. I may be a little dramatic, but it is basically what happened. Back in late 2000 and early 10s, the industry was very small. There were less game developers, and it was an issue to even get your game published. You had to have a publisher. Usually it meant to lose some control over your games. Up until 2012, Steam was straight up requiring publishers. Since 2012, they allowed gamers to vote for games that would be a candidate to be allowed into Steam, and then it was manually reviewed if they are allowed into Steam or not. And only since 2017, Steam allowed any game developers to publish their games on Steam freely. So we see how the gaming industry was closed and hard to get in. Again, you would either sell out to publishers or you would not exist. Even though now a lot of games still get publishers, the simple fact that now it is possible to release your game on the biggest store that is Steam, on the biggest platform that is PC, without any publishers, changed everything. The closed system that created those monopolies became an open system, and publishers now are less aggressive towards game studios than in the past, which I think caused a renaissance in the gaming industry that we see today in 2025, the best year of gaming. I literally can't keep up with the releases. At the beginning of the year I was like, okay, we're gonna have a lot of good games this year. We're gonna have Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, a fantastic big beautiful RPG about medieval Europe, with unique gameplay and great story. It's gonna be the best game of the year. It's gonna win GOTY. The contestants are gonna be Split Fiction, a great co-op game, a successor to It Takes Two that won GOTY 2021, with great gameplay and puzzles. Metal Gear Snake Eater Remake, a very, let's say, unique game that often does not take itself seriously, but there are a lot of good sides to it. For example, the dialogues. Some of them really feel natural, especially the paramedic dialogues. Games nowadays forgot how to make casual conversations. And there's yet another Kojima game that was released this year. A new game, not a remake, Death Stranding 2. Even though it is not a game for everyone, but you can't deny the unique vision of Hideo Kojima. It is a unique and great game. One last contender would be Ghost of Yotei, which even though story-wise so far I think it is not as good as Ghost of Tsushima, gameplay-wise it is great. It is a good successor to Tsushima. So right off the bat we were set for a good year. However, on April 22 we had a surprise. Microsoft shadow dropped the remaster for Oblivion. Again, it is just a remaster, but a win is a win. By the way, even though Oblivion was shadow dropped, the rumors were circulating for a while. I've made my first Oblivion remake video 2 years ago, then one more a year ago. So if you want to be the smartest person in the room, or even in the world, subscribe. That's how it works. I'm not the one making the rules. Now, a couple of days after that, right out of nowhere, Clair Obscur Expedition 33 got released. I mean, we did know that it is going to be released, but the quality of the game, few people expected. It turned out to be one of the best games of all time. And not only that, but it revolutionized the turn-based games. Literally the definition of 10 out of 10. A game that cannot be better. Later on, again out of the blue, another surprise for the gamers came out. One of the most anticipated games of all time, Hollow Knight Silksong, got released. Even though the game is brutal towards new players, but overall that's a great game with a hard focus on gameplay quality. Silent Hill F. Aside the full price tag for 12 hours game and the face quality of characters, the game is great. Eventually the game will go on sale and the price tag will go down. So I really can't see why Silent Hill F can't become an all-time classic. I especially like the aesthetic and overall visuals of the game. It has a far more interesting style than boring grey style of previous games. And all of that without losing the necessary creepiness. And that's only for the games that I think could be the game of the year, if they would be released in a normal year. This year though was not normal. This year was packed. We also had Elden Ring Night Rain. Hell is us, I didn't have the time to check it out, but apparently it is a great game. Dying Light the Beast, a very important game for the gaming industry because the developers listened to the feedback of the gamers and released a great game. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodline 2 is yet to be released, though there are hopes that it will also be good. And of course, how can I not mention classic shooters like Call of Duty and Battlefield? And even that's not all of it, there are even more games. But I think you got the idea. This is the best year of gaming. Yes, we also had some bad games too this year, but it only shows the contrast between the bad games that fail and the good games that succeed. It shows that the path to success is to make good games. Now, we have already talked about how the ability to be freely published on Steam and other platforms opened the gaming industry for many game developers and changed the relationship between the publishers and the studios. But there's another factor that caused the renaissance that we see now. It is the access to modern game engines for little to no cost. I'm talking about licensable game engines like Unity and Unreal Engine. And yes, I know that Unreal Engine 5 is kinda hated. But hold your horses. Just Google the list of games developed on Unity and Unreal Engine. Even the hated Unreal Engine 5. Just look at this list of games that were developed on Unreal Engine 5. It includes Expedition 33, Wukong, Silent Hill 2, Silent Hill F, Frostpunk 2, Split Fiction, and many more to come. The truth is that licensable game engines with free access to stores like Steam open the gaming market to a large amount of developers that now compete with the old and corrupt developers from the 2000s era. For now, I hope and see that the future of the gaming industry overall will be good. Of course, there still will be some disappointing games, but we'll have more variety to choose from, and that's a good thing. And when the old game developers with their bad games will lose their money to good games, they will be more inclined to make good games themselves. And that's what I've got for you for today. A reason to rejoice. Now, thank you for watching. If you like this video, you can show it by clicking the like button. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I have a lot of interesting videos already. And ring the notification bell. Hope to see you in my other videos. See you there.